Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. We've got a really cool one for you today, especially if you're looking for some new books to check out.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
You know, it's always tough to know where to even start with all the books out there, right?
Absolutely. There's just so much.
So we're going to help you narrow it down.
We're going to dive into a bunch of books that a lot of people recommend for men specifically.
But we're not just going to list them off. We're going to talk about why these books are so important, like what makes them special.
Yeah, give you some of that juicy insight.
Exactly. So you can decide if they're right for you.
Hopefully we can spark a little curiosity, get you thinking.
All right, so our source material today is this article called What Books Should Men Read?
And it's a pretty diverse list.
It is.
Hmm?
First up, we've got Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Okay, so full disclosure, I don't know much about this one.
Oh, it's a classic.
Yeah.
It's basically the personal writings of a Roman emperor.
Whoa, hold on. Like a diary?
Kind of. Well, more like a collection of thoughts and reflections. On life, on leadership, on how to be a good person.
So like self-help from an emperor.
Exactly. And it's all based on this philosophy called Stoicism.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Mm.
Isn't it about not showing your emotions?
Well, not exactly. It's more about controlling your reactions to things, accepting what you can't change, and focusing on what you can.
That's actually pretty insightful. I can see how that would be useful even today, like when your boss is driving you crazy or you're stuck in traffic.
Right. Or even just dealing with the everyday stresses of life.
So meditations is kind of like a guide to finding inner peace.
Absolutely. It's about building resilience and staying level-headed no matter what life throws at you.
I like it. Okay, next up is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Now, this one I've definitely heard of,
Oh, yeah, it's a classic.
but does it still hold up today? I mean, the title sounds a little, I don't know, manipulative maybe?
I know what you mean. But honestly, it's not about manipulating people at all.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually about understanding people, learning how to communicate effectively, how to build genuine connections.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And these are skills that are still so important today, maybe even more so, especially with all the, social media and online stuff.
You're right, I hadn't thought about it like that.
Like, are we really connecting with people online, or are we just trying to get likes and followers?
Deep. Okay, so maybe Dale Carnegie is still relevant after all. All right, next up we've got The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
This one's a little different.
Yeah, this is a military strategy book, right?
It is, but it's also surprisingly relevant to, well, life in general.
Really? How so?
Well, it's all about strategy, and that's something we use every day, whether we realize it or not. Like, think about a project at work or even a personal goal you're trying to achieve. There's always a strategy involved.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this could be helpful.
Sun Tzu teaches you how to assess the situation, plan your moves, and anticipate your opponent's actions. It's all about thinking ahead and having a plan.
So it's not about going to war with people.
No, not at all. It's about using strategy to achieve your goals, whatever they may be.
I like it. It's like a mental chess game. Okay, so we've gone from inner peace to social skills to strategic thinking. Now this next one is, well, it's a bit heavier. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl.
This is a powerful one.
Yeah, this is about finding meaning in suffering,
Wow.
right? And it's based on his experiences in Nazi concentration camps.
That's right. And it's a pretty intense read,
I can imagine.
but it's also incredibly inspiring. Frankl went through some of the worst things imaginable, but he never lost sight of the importance of finding meaning in life.
That's amazing.
He developed this idea called logotherapy, which is basically the idea that we're all driven by a search for meaning. And even in the darkest of times, we can choose to find meaning in our experiences.
That's a really powerful message. So even when things are really tough, there's still hope.
Absolutely. This book is a testament to the human spirit and our ability to find meaning even in the face of suffering.
Wow. Okay, last but not least, we've got some fiction on the list. Classics like The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings.
Ah, yes. The good old fantasy epics.
I have to admit, I was a huge fan of these books growing up.
They're classics for a reason.
Yeah, but what makes them so important, beyond just being entertaining?
Well, they explore these universal themes that resonate with people of all ages. Things like courage, loyalty, good versus evil, the power of friendship.
You're right. They're packed with life lessons, aren't they?
Exactly. And they present these lessons in a way that's engaging and exciting. It's like learning without even realizing you're learning.
I love that. It's like sneaking in some personal growth with your entertainment.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot of ground today, from Stoic philosophy to social skills to strategic thinking to finding meaning in suffering and even to epic adventures in Middle-earth. It's a pretty diverse list.
It is.
But I think the common thread here is growth.
Definitely.
Each of these books, in its own way, offers tools and perspectives that can help us grow as individuals.
And become better versions of ourselves.
Exactly. Now, we've just scratched the surface here. We've given you a taste of what each book is about, but there's so much more to discover.
So much depth to explore.
And that's where you come in. We want you to think about which book resonated with you the most.
What sparked your curiosity?
What are you looking for in your own personal journey?
Which book calls out to you?
Maybe it's the one that addresses a challenge you're facing right now. Or maybe it's the one that simply sounds the most fun to read.
Whatever it is, we encourage you to dive in and explore further.
Because reading is one of the best ways to grow and learn and expand your horizons.
It's an adventure waiting to happen.
So go ahead, pick a book, and start your journey. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you then.